Hello and welcome to the All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I'm passionate about helping people of all ages and all genders. I don't know what I'm passionate about, y'all. I'm passionate about life, and I'm passionate about awareness and the ability to wake up every day whenever you are awake to have to start over, to start a new day, and to grow. Each day we're growing, each day I'm growing, and I'm passionate about life. I'm passionate about healing, life, and awareness. And for those of you who don't know me, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm 52 years old. Yes, I'm still 52. And I am the proud mother of three adult children, two XY chromosomes and one XX. And I'm just excited to be here. All right. I know. Thank y'all so much for showing up. I know it's been somebody could come up here and say long time. Yes, a long time, long time, long time, long time. Yeah, it has been a long time. And yeah, throughout this time that I've been off, I've just, y'all know I was going through some things as far as like feeling like this was kind of, I was done talking about it. I felt like we were being manipulated and, led down paths of, led down paths that were lies. Like we were being led. I know I was, following along with some trails and down some trails, some rabbit holes that were full of untruths, and feeling like when did the misleading and all this stuff start to take place. So I started to make a travel back to the beginning of the story, and I was being led to some different clues and things like that. And along the way, when I find something or I identify something, I share it. I share what I've discovered, and to help us put the pieces together about like what's true, what's real, and what's fake, right? And it's been an awakening for me too, because prior to doing this, I was, somebody, like I said, I'm 52, I'm proud Gen X, and I was in my own space. Like I'm not a TV person. I didn't keep up with the news. I was somebody who encouraged and promoted people not to watch the news, not to, get off into that stuff because it's propaganda and it's just a way to keep you distracted. So I wasn't, I wasn't, I wasn't a part of all this stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I learned was recent information, recent stuff, recent knowledge, recent awakening to how a lot of things are out here in this here Western culture. So look at y'all so beautiful. Thank y'all so much for showing back up. Like I said, I know I've been MIA only because I wanted to feel like, oh, y'all just so beautiful. Thank you so much. Y'all so beautiful to me. I know I've been MIA because when I get awakened to some of the stuff that was happening out there, I want to make sure that, I'm always coming from a place of, look at here. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate your super sticker, just encouraging me so much to keep going. I was going to let another day go by. However, I saw this news report from Fox. And I know when I, a few weeks ago, started reporting on the old information when they told us that there was arrest made and all that. And I know a lot of y'all was like, oh, no, that's not the real news and all that stuff. And, I was wondering, like, where the so-called real news, Fox, news stations that we heard, that we know about, like where were they? And if they had stopped reporting, it kind of encouraged me to continue with the belief that arrests had been made, and that they were, being keeping secrecy or not talking about it. So however, when I see this story here, like I said, today we're going to do a lot of reading and stuff. So I'm, I'm just about the truth, right? So when we put out the information, want to investigate on it and come back. So I know, like when I was saying that or reading off of that, a lot of y'all were posting in here saying how this wasn't true. Like the FBI wouldn't do this or wouldn't do that. And I want all the dots to connect too and make it make sense to my mind also. And look at y'all coming on up here with some stuff. I sure appreciate you. But and I know there were some comments, people had their little comments out there as far as why they didn't believe certain things. However, I know that, when this story first came out, we were believing certain things, and then we were given some different information. And a lot of times when they start throwing all these different bones at us, we could forget about what the original story was. And so today, I'm going to do a lot of reading. And like I said, I found some stuff from a reputable news source that, everyone knows, the Fox News. And I was, surprised, not surprised. I don't know. I guess I was, I don't even know a word to use, but I was encouraged to see that they were saying that this needs a high level diplomatic intervention. So again, for those of you who don't know me, 52, proud mother 3, also 30 years of nursing experience, working as a nurse. And, so all this legal stuff, really I don't know. It's not my field, but I go about, how I feel. I thank y'all so much. Look at y'all coming on in here. Please make sure you're clicking the like button, do a favor, click the like button. And what's the other stuff I'll say? Share the video, give a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe, okay? To get all that information out of the way. So, when you guys would make those comments and some of y'all would put it with so much passion, I have to stop and think like, well, if folks is feeling this way, like this Dejanay person hasn't been arrested, it's got to be something to it. Like everybody can't be, way off. And then there were some people who were like me and actually believed the stories, that this was a true something, that she was being detained. I even went back and saw that I had someone on my panel who said that she was arrested and, that we're just holding her. And I'm still going back and forth between, now where's that at? Between which the stories is true or not. Thank you, Jamie. Jamie just became a member. All right, thank you so much. I sure appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all, for coming, going through this with me, and it also keeping me encouraged, because I was trying to throw the towel in long ago, thinking like, okay, well, we've already, it's already been said. However, if this is how things are done, like I did today, I spent some time researching about like what the FBI can do. And in this case, when people go to another country, Americans go to another country and unalive another American and come back, like this little loophole has been part of the system. And maybe good, honest people who aren't trying to figure out how to get away with unaliving somebody, these kind of things don't really, click with your mind. Like you're not thinking like, if I took a person down to Mexico and dropped the body, I could come back and get away with it. However, after, being introduced to this case, I'm seeing, we found that there's been other cases of this kind of stuff taking place. And this very thing is this very thing is a real true fact. It's really true that, people are aware that they can do this kind of stuff, and that people have been doing it. They've been doing it and getting away with it. And because we haven't been continuing to talk or speak out about it, time passes, and then, things kind of die down. However, I feel like we are in a position because, for whatever it's worth, people, we haven't been letting it die down. We've still been talking about it. Even when one of us puts the baton down, puts down the mantle, someone else is still talking about it. Someone else is still mentioning it, still talking about it. So after I saw the Fox News article, I figured, okay, I haven't said anything in a while, and but yeah, I have been working and doing a lot of stuff too. But I really wasn't knowing how I felt about this, right? I wasn't sure how I felt about it, because I had started second guessing too, feeling like, well, maybe she's not detained. Maybe that the original story with the numbers, the arrest numbers, or the numbers, the things that I posted, wasn't true. Like, maybe that was not maybe, but that was the initial, not initial lie, but that was one of the lies. Like, we've been told so many lies, like it's really super hard to keep up. And like I said, after I did the investigation, I'm going to read off to you guys what I found by doing the research, as far as like, what happens if someone unalives an American, unalives an American in another, in Mexico. I specifically did the research pertaining to Mexico, since this is where the crime was committed. And also, throughout our time together, we saw that people, this wasn't the first time, like people had been doing this. And, I mentioned how it seemed like it was like a cookie cutter little deal. Yeah, just go ahead over, come on down to Mexico and, drop your bodies, and then we're going to give you this here cookie cutter, just say alcohol poisoning. You're like, it's been working. Everybody's been getting away with it. It's kind of like, I know y'all have heard in the news and stuff, when they have these little scams and stuff going on. Like, just recently, there were some scams that people were selling fake nursing license or fake nursing diplomas or something like that, where people were, faking being nurse and stuff like that, right? So there's always these type of scams and stuff going around where people will do things to make money. So selling these fake alibis or fake, ways to be able to, drop a body and get away with it is nothing new, right? It's nothing new. And these kind of things have been happening. And so I just want to say that, I listen to y'all. I listen and I read, these comments and stuff. So the people that were saying, that Interpol don't make arrests or any of all these things, like, I'm not a detective, I'm not FBI person, all that stuff. All I'm doing is, I'm just a person, a Gen Xer who have a lot of, just by age comes wisdom, by being able to analyze, and I know behavior. Like I said, I'm also a nurse, and a lot of our curriculum is psychology and things like that. So I'm making my assessment based on those facts. So all that to say is that today, March the 2nd, I am not sure if Dejanay Jackson has been detained or not. I'm not sure. Even today, when I thought that I was going to say, I'm sure that she has not, just a few stories down, I read another word that says, something else that make me think like, oh, well, maybe that means that she's just detained, but she just hasn't been extradited yet. So, it's an ongoing struggle here to stay focused on this. So I'm just grateful for y'all, and thank y'all so much for all your love and support in the comments and all that good stuff. And let me see here. So I'm gonna just read a few of these here because I'm just happy that y'all y'all still here rocking with me. And and like I said, for the people that's been emailing me different stories and stuff like that, I appreciate all that stuff. Marie says, ready for RN, all natural beauty and beautifuls. Yes. Welcome, my beauties and beautifuls. I thank y'all so much. And this is 90 days, right? This happened back in October, and I became aware of it in the middle of November and started talking about it November the 23rd. And, I did a long run with it where I was running with it. And then a stumbling block came up when I found something from the past that said she was arrested, and then to go back and start putting dots together and things like that. It's been a circle. It's been a real circle. And again, like I said, I'm standing here today or sitting here today. Hey, highly favored, what's happening? Sitting here today, again, unsure, not knowing. However, what I do know is that by us standing here for justice for Shanquella, that's why we're still talking about it, because people had been coming up making comments way back in December how this was going to be a cold case and all that stuff. And I can see how it's because of this whole pattern or this whole flaw in the system. Like the way this judicial system is set up, for those who don't know, you could be put in a really bad position to where we see this blatant act of, murder to just, go unchecked because of a technicality, right? So that's the thing that I feel like we're going to need to really focus on is how to get justice, right? Because now once I read off some of these articles and the research that I found, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about as far as like how do we get it? Because they kind of got everything kind of locked up on these technicalities. And Judy, thank you so much for your support. Going in there and just really supporting me on all those old videos from 9 years ago. Said Judy says, good morning, all around natural beauty and beauties. God bless each and every one. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Yes, and that's what we, started off over here to for Justice for Shanquella Robinson. We've been speaking out the names, like I said. Over here, we don't do moments of silence. We do moments of speaking where we speak out the names of victims, Shanquella Robinson, and a lot of y'all also had names of victims. And I want to start, for us to get our list together so we can go around and shout those names out and really start lifting our voices and not falling back into old trained behavior where we, especially we women, have been kind of conditioned to just kind of shut up and take it, right? So I'm just proud that we are here, with the voice. And like I said, this is something new for me too, because, I have always been, I guess, just really not wanting to believe the division of, that we have amongst men and women, right? Like, I think that's what's making this kind of a stumbling block for us, because it's difficult for us to want to believe that we don't have each other's best interests at heart. So, all right. Thank y'all so much. You got some, hey, what's up, Tanika? Tanika, thank you for showing up. Long time. Yeah, JP6 says long time. That is true. Let's see. What? I guess it's been 12 days or something like that. And the last time, I know what the reason why too that I kind of took a small break was there was some issues with this audio and sound being carried over when I was sharing videos. And I did spend a lot of time trying to, I'm not a techie person for real, but I did do, I tried on 3 different occasions. I spent time where I would send myself just a private one so I could get on there and try to see like what was happening, because I didn't feel like I had made any changes to anything, and it had been working properly, for the last few months with me sharing the video and audio coming through on it. However, it, had ceased to be the case that whenever I would share video, the audio would be playing through the speakers and I could hear it, but would not get picked up through the microphone, which like, I don't know what's going on with that. And I just figured, oh, well, I'm going to continue to speak, but I just won't share any video. I'll just read stuff or talk, and which I see that I spend a lot of time talking. So just talking and just me speaking ain't gonna be no thing for real. I can do it. So, oh, here go a new person. What's up, Chocolate Girl? Chocolate Girl says, you look like you're in your 30s. Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, because you know what, ladies, they try to say when some of these men try to say we hit the wall or some old negative stuff, like all this stuff is really new for me. I didn't know about this manosphere and all this negative stuff about men and women. Like I wasn't aware that that this was a feeling a feeling and stuff too. Like I said, not watching this news or getting on this, staying involved in all this little stuff, it preserves you, right? So you have to listen to, a lot of times you hear these negative things, you could start to believe it and all those good things, right? So what I was going to say was that women, we get better with age. As we get older, we get better. Our value increases. It's not like that for the XYs. Yeah, y'all stuff be starting to go down, them XYs, as you get older, right? And that's really the reason why they try to trick you and make you feel like you need them, when it's really the other way around, right? It's really the other way around. They need us to help them out and stuff like that, right? Because they're used to us doing everything. And I know I was one of those women that really felt like, you're supposed to serve and do all that stuff. So anyway, I'm waking up to the fact that, this was all, this was all part of the whole, I guess, the abuse, the narcissistic abuse that, we women have been subjected to by the men this whole time, right? Thank you, Chocolate Girl. All right, so Helen Henry says, wow, was just thinking about you. So good to see you back. Thank you. And I feel good about being back too. Like this was kind of at the spur of the moment, because again, I wasn't feeling like there was any more to say about this, because again, I was in the moment where I was like still not sure what was going on, because that a few weeks ago I was adamant. Y'all know I was going off on whoever was saying that. I don't think I was going off on anybody, but I was strong in my stance as far as like, well, if they said that she was captured, when did she get released, right? And so I was like, show the proof or show the information. Here's my receipts for this. And I'm not going to just accept somebody going, oh, this, your words telling me something. At least, even if what I'm presenting isn't accurate, at least I'm presenting something. If you can just say something, but you're not presenting something to counter that, to null and void it, then I'm going to go by what I can see and read, right? Until something else is presented. And something else was presented by way of Fox News. So I was super excited. Not really super excited, but just, I guess I can say super excited. And see, hey, Lila says, go, great to see you, RN. Welcome back. Thank you. Look at you with the shorthand. All right, so I'm enjoying seeing me some shorthand. And also, look at my member, Sharad Yanish says hello. And justice for Shanquella Robinson. Yes, y'all, when I saw what was being said by we Americans, that high level diplomatic interventions is going to be needed, it just really made me to, really do the research and find out about what the FBI could do, right? Because I remember in the beginning, I did hear somebody on the video, some attorney, I don't remember the name, but I'm saying, that if it was planned here, that they could do something. However, when I was doing the research today, it was saying that if it was committed in another country, really the U.S. can only just support that country's efforts. So it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe they planned the perfect unaliving thing. Yeah, Tanika says it was so much information. Yes, and it was really overwhelming for me too. I was just like, why is this happening? Why am I waking up to this stuff? And I just didn't want to be about it anymore. I just wanted it to go away. However, again, it's not going to go away. We have to continue lifting our voices here to make sure something gets done. Jamie says, we will never let her be forgotten. Justice for beautiful Shanquella Robinson. Yes, I'm grateful. And hey, what's up, Sharon? And Sharon, you really, blessed me a lot too by sharing your story and continuing to support over here, especially after you have your own situation that you're going through with the loss of a child also. Says, hi, RN and Beauty. So good to converse with y'all. Yes, I'm happy to be back too, y'all. I really am. And, like I said, it's always, for every hater, there's like 3 lovers, or probably more than that too. So I'm just happy that, that there is love out here, and that the right thing is going to be, we're going to be, as long as you kind of making sure that you're coming from a place of honesty and wanting the truth for real, it's going to come, right? If you seek the truth is going to happen, and the truth will get you that freedom there. What's up, Shirley? Shirley says, okay, that must be an emoji there. And Chad, how y'all doing? So we giving out peace and love and all that good stuff. And, also the acts of faith, right? So, I had left mine. I was out of town for a week, and I left my acts of faith. So I was, off a few days. So I'm excited to be back here with y'all. We can go over these acts of faith. Thanks for that love, Tiffany. I sure appreciate it. Thank you so much. And, we've been reading our acts of faith, and I know some of y'all got the book too. It's an older book from Iana Van Zett, copywritten back in 1990. I always get it wrong. 93. And it's daily acts of meditation for people of color. However, it's very beneficial for all people, but especially for people of color, since we have our own extra trials to get over and move on and stuff too, right? So I'm just grateful for that. And Sharon says, it was time for us all to take a break and regroup. Thank you. Thank you for saying that too, because this stuff could be, okay, this stuff can be very frustrating and overwhelming, especially when you have personal experience relating to it. Yes, exactly. Right. You took the words right out of my mouth. Right. So I'm just grateful, too. And that's exactly how I was feeling. Right. I was feeling like I was, just that was it. Like that's all I've talked about. That's all I was thinking about. And here we are still here in the living, and we have to make sure that we are still taking care of ourselves too, right? Because this could be very heavy, and it could keep you in a dark space. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and all that good stuff. So let's get started with our acts of faith. I'm just grateful welcoming everybody, all these good people up in here. Yes. All right. And see, Sharon says, RN, you have done a great job educating us and keeping us focused. So no, you owe us no apologies. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all for coming up here. What's up, Davy? Davy said, I have missed you, RN, in chat. All right, and that's another little pink hand wavy thing there. All right, I sure appreciate y'all too. I appreciate y'all. And I'm sure, Shanquella Robinson's family appreciates us too. And all of the things, the positive things that's going to happen, y'all, because we probably going to have to start putting together some ways to get some changes in the laws. Like there's going to have to be some changes moving forward, because look at what's happened. This is like 3 months and this thing was put in front of the whole world, and it can't possibly be like, okay, we getting away with on a technicality, right? I mean, like, but again, we're over here in America, and it's like I was saying before in the beginning that, are we really going to count on Mexico bringing justice to us? Like now they've kind of put it in the position to where it's like now they just point fingers at each other. Well, we would do something, but the US is like holding things up. The US is like, well, it's not really in our jurisdiction. We're just here to support Mexico. And in the meantime, nothing is being done. Like nothing's being done. Nothing's being done. Nothing is being done. All right. So, Acts of Faith, March 2nd. It says, Lord, make me so uncomfortable that I will do the very thing I fear. And that's a quote from Ruby D. And Iana says, when it comes time for us to grow, we get restless. When it's time for us to move forward, we get tense. When the time comes for us to let go of the things we know are holding us back, all hell breaks loose. Unfortunately, we sometimes misunderstand what we are feeling and use it as a reason to stay where we are. Nothing focuses us to move faster than pain. Restlessness is pain. Tension is pain. Hell breaking loose is a sign that pain is on the way. When we are in pain, we must do something to make ourselves feel better. And if the old remedy doesn't work, we must try something new. Too many times we have cut ourselves down to fit into the situation, fixing ourselves to stay where we are is the very source of our pain. If we allow ourselves to live with constant dull aches, it means we are not getting the message. But you can be sure all dull aches eventually turn into throbbing pain. Pain tells me there is something wrong. All right. So that was good for me. I needed to hear that because it's been very painful. And a lot of times I know when I start to experience pain, especially mental pain, I just want to freeze, right? I just freeze, take my head and tuck it in the sand. And Shirley says, it's just so many twists and turns to this case. It does get confusing. Yes. And yes, that's so true. All right. So we got some emojis there. And see, Jamie says, we sure do are in black don't crack when you take care of it. Gen X is in the house. Yes, we is. Yes, we are. And the great thing about being a Gen X is that we are blessed to have been here before the internet. So a lot of this stuff that they keep, this is all crooked. A lot of this stuff that they keeping us sleep on, we Gen X need to wake up. That's why it's important too. I'm talking to myself to make sure that I keep up with what is going on this internet and what people are talking about. Like people been talking about a lot of this stuff for years, and I have been in my own little space with believing that the head of woman is man, and listening to all of this whole system that is obviously not correct, because look at all the problems that we have in the world by not being in order. So the order is wrong. This order is wrong. These are lies that we have been fed to believe, and I'm just excited because there's an awakening coming, and we're here. Missed you, RN and chat. I know I missed y'all too, and I'm just happy y'all back here. Y'all can see I'm just really going by, to all these comments on here, because I appreciate, when y'all up in here talking stuff. Hey, Deborah. Deborah says, good afternoon. Awesome job you're doing. Miss you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate that too. And like I said, y'all been putting out a lot of comments, a lot of people really, believing that there's, no one's been arrested and these people are getting away with it. And like I said, from the what I've been reading today, and like I said, finally Fox News, so the reputable source has come forward with some information. Julie says, good afternoon. She's also, and yes, we're missed, but need the downtime. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for supporting me through the downtime, to just take a break from this. And, but I'm just grateful too that the spirit, tap you on the shoulder when, okay, get up, all right? Time to get up and to continue for the justice for Shanquella. Thank you so much, Ernie. What's going on, Ernie? And Deborah says, they just sentenced Tim Norman life, yes, for the planned and hired demise of his nephew. It took the FBI 7 years, but actually last 7 months when they start the investigation, they arrest him. Yes, thank you so much for that. Now that's encouraging too, because we have to understand that, it's going to take a long time. Like, this isn't going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. And then we have this as an example to show us how slow this process is, right? So thank you so much for sharing that too. Sharing that. Yes. And we see how, even with this, the one case, I can't think of the name, the dude just killed his wife and kid, the attorney dude, that case is going on right now. But how this kind of stuff has always been happening, right? There's tons of stories out there where these men will unalive the whole family, sacrifice the whole family. So this isn't nothing new. It's nothing new, right? Nothing new. So ladies, we just want to be careful and aware of, the dangerous situation that we're putting ourselves in. How come I can't get this straight? Oh, I know why, because I'm looking at it in the mirror. And it's it's opposite, right? Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. Charge it to my heart. All right, here go. Kind of a new. Hey, what's going on, Antoinette? All right. Hello, Miss RN. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for the blessings. And yes, I do need them and appreciate every one of them. Linda says, good afternoon, everyone. What's up, Linda? So appreciate you also. All right, so we have read our acts of faith. It's not an out-of-state case. Yes, this here is international. This is international. So I think I'm going to start first with, I'm going to just read y'all. I made some notes on, or maybe I should do the Fox News report first. Let me do that. What is this? Yeah, I'll do the Fox News thing. And then I'll show y'all what I found. All right. So I'm just reading again because I'm not even trying to figure out what happened with the speakers and why y'all can't hear the stuff when I share. All right. So today, this here is a news report. It says published March 2nd, 2023 at 9:50 a.m. So I was just like, yes, finally something saying this, recent news, right? And it says Shanquella Robinson case needs high-level diplomatic intervention after mysterious death in Mexico. Attorney a family attorney said she is unaware of any arrest made, including of the suspect Dejanay Jackson. So that this is something very interesting because it flies right in the face of the one story that I was reading a few weeks ago about arrest made, right? So this here is recent time. See the date here, March the 2nd. This is the attorney for the family who states that she is unaware of any arrest being made. So I'm I want to believe that. All right, so of course we're not gonna play the video here. Well, even if we do play it, it's not gonna have any sound. It says American woman Shanquella Robinson attacked in Mexico on video. North Carolina woman Shanquella Robinson was beaten in Mexico in a video obtained by the New York Post. Robinson later expired, right? And we know that according to the death certificate, that after receiving the blows, the cause of death that's listed on the death certificate is severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation with a lifespan expectancy of 15 minutes after receiving the injury. So it's not like she expired later on in the hospital somewhere. 15 minutes after receiving the injuries that we saw on this here video, Shanquella was no longer with us. All right, it says the family of a North Carolina woman who died while on vacation in Mexico called for high-level diplomatic intervention as it struggles to get answers about the status of the investigation. So this tells me that they're not even talking to the family, like they're, no answers are being given here. No answers are being given here, which is super sad. And then when I show y'all the information that I found as far as like what the FBI can do and can't do, y'all gonna, it's gonna make sense why they're feeling like nothing's being done, because really nothing is being done. Nothing can be done because of the way this system is set up. There's a ton of flaws in this system that we, have been aware of for, decades, right? Shanquella Robinson's case needs public officials or the Biden administration to step in so the woman charged in her death can be extradited. Okay. All right. All right. I didn't read this earlier, y'all. I just, just a little caption and stuff like that. Like I said, I like to, have stuff be raw and open, right? So this little sentence, let me just read it again. It says Shanquella Robinson's case needs public officials or the Biden administration to step in so the woman charged in her death can be extradited. So here we go back again to where I feel like, so can be extradited. So does that mean that she's still detained and they're waiting to extradite her? But then we go back up to this sentence here. Sorry, y'all, but this is how I get that. This is how we get now. This is just from this little information here. This says the family. Where did I read that at? All right, the attorney says, where did I just read that at? That she has no information if the person is being arrested. Didn't I just read it somewhere? Where'd that go? Okay, a family attorney says she is unaware of any arrests being made, including of the suspect Dejanay Jackson. But then when we go down here, that's why I'm saying, like, we got to dissect all these words. This little second paragraph here says the Shanquella Robinson case needs public officials or the Biden administration to step in so the woman charged in the death can be extradited. The family attorney told Fox News Digital after returning from a trip to Mexico Baja Peninsula, where Robinson died on October 29th. My understanding of the treaty is that it would be the responsibility of our law enforcement agency to have the approval of the State Department in order for us to give clearance for the U.S. citizen to be turned over to Mexican authorities, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson said, adding that she did not receive guidance or assistance from the U.S. consulate in Mexico, despite their knowledge of the inner workings of the legal system in Mexico. More sadness, huh? The biggest takeaway of the trip was how difficult it is to get information when an American dies abroad, said the attorney, who is not related to Shanquella. The lawyer added that Mexican officials told her their investigation is done. The ball is now in the court of the United States to agree to extradite the woman they have charged with femicide in the 25-year-old Carolina hairdresser's death. All right, then we had heard Nancy Grace, someone on her show, saying that because of this here term femicide, that could possibly be a reason why this is being held up. All right, it says, listen, the Fox True Crime Podcast with Emily Campagno. All right, so in the description box of this here live, I have I've linked this here, so y'all can go back on your own leisure and listen to these videos, or even read over this at your own leisure. All right, so let's continue here. This again is just more of what we've already seen and gone over there. All right, Shanquella Robinson left the video screenshot of Robinson being attacked in a hotel room. Wow. Okay. So the bigger issue is that something that would take a high-level diplomatic intervention, a very high-level diplomatic intervention, and that hasn't been done yet as far as we know. Says Fox News Digital reached out to the White House as well as North Carolina's 2 Republican senators and did not immediately receive a response. Wow. My prayers continue to be with the family of Shanquella Robinson and all of those who loved her. Democratic Republican Elma Adams, who represents Charlotte in Congress, told Fox News Digital, no family deserves to suffer this tragedy, and Shanquella deserves justice. As with all cases involving constituents, our congressional office is ready to assist with federal agencies in any way we are allowed under the law. Okay, so instead of us, I guess, talking to or crying out to the FBI, now we need to, what they say, talk to the Biden administration or Congress, right? Who makes the law, or who, because we need some new laws or something to get over this little loophole. After I finish this, I'm going to read what I had found about what the FBI can and can't do. So maybe we may be at a standstill with this FBI. However, maybe there's some stuff that we could do with this here Congress and all this good stuff. Says Shanquella Robinson arrived in the resort town of San Jose del Cabo on October 28th with a group of 6 friends and acquaintances who said she was suffering from alcohol poisoning when she was found unresponsive the next day. Sue Ann Robinson told Fox News Digital that her team was able to confirm some information about the timelines of events and gained clarity on how 2 sets of medical professionals that dealt with Shanquella. Now, I didn't know about no 2 sets of medical professionals that dealt with Shanquella on that afternoon, and that a doctor was first called to the hotel room at the Fonderosa Beach Club. That doctor was called by the hotel concierge rather than the paramedics due to the initial claim that Robinson was intoxicated rather than a victim of a beating. All right, so here's a rally held for Shanquella Robinson. Father describes moment he saw her body. All I wanted is justice. All right, I'm just going to click on this just to see where it leads to. Okay, so this is more from Fox News. Okay, so these are reliable sources here. And this here was dated December the 14th. All right, sorry, y'all. Wow. All right, so even here was a small rally, just 200 people. I'm gonna go back to finish up the story here. But okay, so anyway, so if y'all do go ahead and click on this down in the description box, you see it can lead down a nice session of different stories to support what's going on here. All right, so it says the account of the doctor's action, Sue Ann Robinson said, is from the paramedic who arrived roughly 90 minutes later, and not the American Medical Center where the doctor was from, because she was told that doctors no longer worked there and could not be reached. Wow. When paramedics did arrive, they allegedly said that Shanquella Robinson no longer had vital signs, but continued CPR for another hour before the doctor on scene made the call to stop life-saving efforts, right? Which we know that this is all fake. It's impossible that they could have been doing CPR for what? This is like going on 2 hours now. They would have ran out of energy and supplies to do that. Shortly after Robinson's death, a video surfaced on social media showing a female viciously beating her while onlookers commented in the background, urging her to fight back. Robinson's mother, Salamandra, said she was initially told by Shanquella's friends that she had suffered from alcohol poisoning. So where y'all think they got this story about the alcohol poisoning, right? Because we had already saw that this was a cookie cutter excuse that they were giving out to people. So this to me makes me believe that this was planned. They already had the story of what was going to be told after the unaliving. They're going to use alcohol poison, and that the country Mexico had already, been accustomed to, documenting this alcohol poison, alcohol intoxication on several other American body droppings, right? But that changed when an autopsy in Mexico concluded she had died from severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, along with instability of the first two neck vertebrae, right? And if y'all go back and check, I should drop it in this link here too. The video that I did with John Q, where we highlighted the injuries on just a still shot, on just photos, so it's not the video, where you can see when these injuries that's listed on the death certificate were inflicted and by whom. All right, in late November, Baja California Sur prosecutor Daniel De La Rosa Anya issued an arrest warrant, right? And that was the first story that got us kind of down this rabbit hole, right? And so Mexico originally was saying alcohol poisoning and that it was no foul play, right? So, which would lead me to believe that them saying that they are trying to, extradite and they're trying to prosecute is all baloney, because, and they know that this is going to tie everything up, where it's like, everybody's hands can just be washed, or they're going to say their hands are tied because America is going to say, oh, well, it was done over in Mexico. We can't do anything. Then Mexico's going to say, oh, well, she's over there in America, and we trying to say, come back over here so we can do the thing. But, America won't send them back. Right? When we know that Mexico got their own problem with femicide in their own country, and that they don't hold accountable the people over there that's, doing these femicides. All right. Here's another story. It says Shanquella Robinson's family seeking answers in her mysterious mysterious Mexico vacation death. Just want to know why. Wow. All right. See here. Shanquella Robinson's death was initially believed to be due to alcohol poisoning. Sue Ann Robinson told Fox, and Sue Ann is the attorney. Sue Ann Robinson told Fox News Digital that Anya's office verbally identified the indicted friend, but added she was not aware of any arrest having been made for anyone involved. All right. So that leads me back to the only one who actually said or stated or printed that arrest was made was from the Metropolexide type thing, which already had a history of false or telling lies, right? So, all right. Just not knowing when their daughter's murderer is going to be brought to justice, Robinson said. That's excruciatingly painful. A spokesperson for FBI office in Charlotte would only confirm an investigation is ongoing. So here we go again with the, who knows? Because if a spokesperson from the FBI is only going to confirm an investigation is ongoing, again, like, I don't know. I'm still torn, y'all, between is she detained or not, right? Is she detained or not? Let's see it. A State Department spokesperson told Fox Digital that the department has no higher priority than the safety and security of U.S. citizens overseas, and that it supports a thorough investigation into the circumstances of the incident and closely monitoring local authorities' investigation. Wow. The spokesperson added that the department does not provide commentary on investigation. So again, that goes back to what I was saying when they said that everyone is being secret, right? So I don't know. So I'm going to just say, regardless if he or she is detained or not, that we still have to speak up and check in on this too. We can't just say, we can't just let it go. We have to still check up and speak up on this because we just have to, because I don't know. I feel like this is all some conspiracy stuff here, right? See, Sue Ann says, this is the Sue Ann Robinson team will be holding a rally for Shanquella Robinson in Washington, D.C. on Friday, along with her family, where they hope to get exposure needed for high-level diplomatic interventions. Wow. So anybody who is, that's tomorrow, anybody who is in this Washington, D.C. area, if you please could support this, share this video here in this article. Like I said, it's in the description box, because this here is recent, right? We saw that it's from today. And they're holding a rally asking for high-level diplomatic intervention, right? So some research on what is a high-level diplomatic intervention. What is that? Anybody know? All right. The family is forced into a situation where they're grieving and they're mourning and they're trying to just normalize and acclimate themselves to a new life without their loved one. But at the same time, they got to be marching, going on interviews, having rallies, writing letters, making appeals to the press and to the public on behalf of their loved one at the same time. Sue Ann Robinson said, which I don't think is fair. True, but then we had, okay, so that's going to be, I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Get over here. That's going to be going back to what Sharon was saying, how, they just gave life to the one person who unalived that nephew of Sweetie Pie's nephew from 7 years ago, right? So we may have to just consider being long suffering and waiting to get this here justice because of this whole, I don't want to call it the catch-22, but these little loopholes in the law that they, to me, investigated and did the research knowing that they were going to be able to get away with this if they took Shanquella over to Mexico to do this. All right. Back over here at the chat. What's up, Jazzy Jennifer? Jazzy Jennifer is shouting out her justice for Shanquella Robinson also. Thank y'all so much. And see, Jamie says the family attorney stated yesterday that Mexico has done their part. Now the ball is in our court, meaning the U.S. is working on the extradition of the main aggressor so they can pick her up. Yeah. Well, it's sad to say that, let me see what I found. I kind of wrote put together a little something here. I had a question. It says, can the FBI take over a case where American kills another American in Mexico? And let me share so y'all can see what I found. Just shout out a few more people. Highly favored, what's going on? Says the devil is a liar. The devil always forgot that God never sleeps nor slumbers. Yeah, these are very motivational things to say and hear. However, I don't know, y'all. I'm starting to have doubts on all that old stuff too. You see, thanks for all you do, RN. I appreciate you, Jody. Thank you for saying it. Hey, Rhonda, what's going on? Glad to hear the family attorneys taking action. Yeah, that makes me feel better too. And also it helps me to believe that nothing, that there's really no arrest or no one's being detained too, that we still, we back at square one, right? We back at square one. Antoinette says, you're welcome. I'm not new to your chat, but thank you, beautiful. I appreciate your panel. I appreciate you too. And I do remember your name too, from way back in the day, way back in the day. And Tanika says justice for Shanquella too. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Tanya? Tanya says, sorry, I don't understand why you cannot see the MX Reporter live. This popped up in my feed. Okay. All right. I don't know what you're talking about, Tanya. All right, Tanika says, Mexico always claiming alcohol poisoning. They knew this, therefore, as you stated, this was planned on U.S. soil. Yes, that was another question I wanted to ask too, to find out, like, if, since everyone's saying the hands are tied, that couldn't this be a reason, why the U.S. could get involved? But with these criminals knowing the loopholes in the system, this is how people, there's people out there that, make it a point to try to plan on how to get away with unaliving people, right? And I think that's why we're in this little loophole now, because Mexico wasn't going to do anything in the beginning. Now that they're saying that they're trying to do something, now they can just wash their hands of it and go on about their lives, because it's like, okay, well, we did this. They made their move, and now it's like, there's no moves to be made. So it's like kind of a stalemate. Yes. What's up, Julian? Ben Crump on it now. Ben Crump. I don't know who Ben Crump is. And why, Tanya, you so offended at my lack of knowing all these players and stuff? Why? Right? Why? What is your problem? All right, thank you. I don't know who Ben Crump is, but family hired Ben Crump. Well, this article says that the family hired, who this person is? A lady Robinson. Somebody, Sue Ann Robinson. Alicia Renee says they've had plenty of time to change the gender on paper. We'll never get the truth. Oh, you think? Okay. It's very confusing at this point. Yeah, I agree with you. Hey, Rashawn. Rashawn says, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, so I want to just show y'all some of the what I found out in my little research here. And if you want me to see, I'll go on and get on this Mexican reporter. I don't know, I don't know what, right? So, I mean, like, I don't know what you're talking about here. When I saw the fake pics, I point out the stuff that I see. The story was in the beginning, so I don't know what you're talking about, Tanya. Let me see if you said something here. Denise says, hello, beautiful family. I don't trust Mexico. They were ready to go through the case anyway in the beginning. Yeah, exactly. They said that it was no sign to foul play, and they ruled it. They said it was not a homicide, right? So yeah, I never trusted Mexico. I always thought that we need to get the justice here, because Mexico is not going to, use their limited resources. We know it's a poor country. They're not going to use their limited resources to extradite and prosecute and hold arrested a Black American for unaliving a Black American woman. When they don't value the women in their own country, they're going to have even less value for a Black American, period. Right? Cool. Let's see. James says, what's wrong with you, Tanya? Okay, yeah. I was feeling Tanya is a troll. There's something, exactly. Yes. Just throw her out. Yeah, why come over? Tanya is a troublemaker. Something is suspicious about Tanya. I've been noticing her little comments, and always over here very aggressive and stuff. Go someplace else. Ugh. Make like a tree and leave, right? You're not over here for anything positive. You just want to be negative. Yuck. Go away. Make like a tree and leave. Yes. So exactly. Yes. Thank y'all so much. All right. Cool. Yeah. I know what the issue is. Anyway, so let me go ahead and show y'all some stuff that I found out. Like I said, here was a question that I had checked with the AI to get some answers to, and it's what I come up with. All right, so the question I asked was, can the FBI take over a case where an American kills another American in Mexico? And the information came back, says no, the FBI cannot take over a case where an American kills another American in Mexico, as Mexico has its own law enforcement agency and jurisdiction. The FBI only has jurisdiction with the United States and its territories and has limited authorities to investigate crimes committed outside of the United States. In general, when a crime is committed abroad involving U.S. citizens or interests, the FBI may provide assistance and support to local authorities through its legal attaché legate program, which has agents stationed in various countries around the world. The FBI can also work with other U.S. agencies such as state departments and the Department of Justice to coordinate efforts and provide resources as needed. Ultimately, however, it's up to the local authorities in the country where the crime occurred to investigate and prosecute the case. If the suspect is later extradited to the United States, the FBI may become involved in the case at that point. So that kind of told me that that's why Mexico was like, oh, okay, cool. All we got to do is just say, we got an arrest warrant out there, put this information on there. It's going to, be a loophole because they don't know about the crime femicide, right? So they put this little loophole on it. And, that's how we get away with it, because now it's like they're going to tie everybody's hands, right? Mexico saying they tried to do their part. They just waiting for the U.S. to do their part. U.S. is saying, hey, it's not in our jurisdiction. Like, we can't do nothing about it. This here is a Mexican problem. So then I asked, what if the crime was planned in America? Because I truly believe that they did the research to know that Mexico had been giving out these cookie cutter plans, or these cookie cutter excuses, that these cookie cutter alcohol poison excuses, they've been putting them out there, that they already knew that if we go over here and do it, and then just all we have to do is get back, we're good. Like, we're good, right? Because remember, we go back to the beginning when Mexico was agreeing that this was alcohol poison. And this, to me, kind of connects the dots on why the Mexican reporter was feeding us all these lies and stuff, right? Yeah, right. All right. So anyway, my second question was, what if the crime was planned in America? Because I remember hearing an attorney saying that if it was planned here in America, that the FBI could, get them on something. Because to me, it just sounds like a crazy loophole to be able to say, well, we did it over here. Otherwise, like, what's to stop people from doing that? And maybe people have been doing it, and since nobody really knew about it, that, that's how people been getting away with it. So the answer came back and says, if the crime was planned in America, the FBI may have jurisdiction over certain aspects of the case, such as investigating the planning and preparation of the crime that occurred within the United States. However, if the actual killing took place in Mexico, Mexican authorities would have jurisdiction over the crime scene and any evidence collected there, which we know that they didn't even make a crime scene because they said it was not a crime scene, right? So here we have some more shady information here, which is going to take some more, research and investigating to find out what to do on that, because Mexico didn't create a crime scene, right? Because they said it was no crime. In such a scenario, the FBI would likely work with Mexican authorities and provide assistance and support as needed, while respecting the jurisdiction and authority of Mexican authorities. The FBI may also work with other U.S. agencies such as the Department of Justice and the State Department to coordinate efforts to ensure that any investigation or prosecution of the case is conducted in accordance with applicable laws and international protocols. So I was feeling like, again, this here, is really not helpful. This again shows me that the ball is just stuck in midair, right? Because if Mexico still has the lead move in it, and they've positioned themselves to be like, oh, our hands are clean, we did our part, we did our part. But they didn't make a crime scene. They didn't do any of these things. They let them go, right? Afterwards, they let them go. They were there and they let them go, said no crime had been committed. So my third question was, what if Mexico is doing little to nothing in seeking justice? Is there something American authorities can do? And the answer came back, if Mexico is doing little to nothing in seeking justice for a crime committed against an American citizen, the U.S. government may exert diplomatic pressure on the Mexican government to take action, which leads me back to the Fox News, plea for high-level diplomatic intervention, right? So that's why I'm feeling like that was good that they have the attorney who probably went through these same little questions to try to find out what could be done, and knowing that this diplomatic pressure. And again, some of us were saying that we want to boycott Mexico and all that stuff, which I believe is more diplomatic pressure, right? If we start doing these kind of things like that, it's going to make somebody step up, because really the ball is in Mexico's court, really. And they've just kind of faked us off by saying that it's in American court because they did their part. But we already see that in the beginning, they had already ruled this out and said, they weren't going to do anything about it. And they're just saying this to tie it up, right? To tie things up and make this prolong the case, and hopefully that it will die down. But again, here the answer is saying that that we have to exert diplomatic pressure on the Mexican government to take action. This can be done through diplomatic channels such as U.S. Embassy in Mexico. So that's who we need to be sending letters to, petitioning to, dealing with, is the U.S. Embassy in Mexico, or through higher level diplomatic channels involving senior officials in both governments, which we read that Shanquella Robinson, the attorney for the Robinson family, was seeking help from the Biden administration, and trying to get some pressure, diplomatic pressure that way. So this here, they're on the right path. In addition, the U.S. government can provide assistance to the victim's family and advocate for their rights in Mexico, such as by helping them navigate the Mexican legal system and providing support services. The U.S. government may also offer rewards for information leading to the arrest, conviction of the perpetrators. However, it's important to note that the U.S. government's ability to intervene in foreign legal proceedings is limited, and it must respect the sovereignty and legal system of other countries. Ultimately, the responsibility for investigating and prosecuting crimes committed in Mexico rests with the Mexican authorities. If the victim's family is unsatisfied with the response of the Mexican government, they may also seek legal action in the U.S. courts against the perpetrators, depending on the circumstances of the case. Wow. Okay, so that's good to know. That's good to know. That's good to know that they can do that, right? So I think we're on the right path as far as like trying to put asking for high level diplomatic support. What's up, Melanie B? Melanie says, didn't we establish that she was unalive early that morning? So anything they say happened after that is a lie. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, we did. And we established that several content creators did. And I did a video where I put with Sleuthy Lucy, who did an excellent job at narrowing the time the time down to around 7:30ish, right? It was almost down to the minute, which was very impressive. So yes, Melanie B, that is exactly right. Exactly right. Yes, and they've been lying to us the whole time, Mexico. So why should we believe anything that they say? Denise B. All right, thank you. Hey, what's up, Chinyere? Chinyere says, "Hey, Miss RN, miss you." Yes, thank y'all so much for missing my presence. I appreciate the love and support, and I saw, I appreciate y'all too, and thank y'all for tuning back in. Bye, Felicia. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Every once in a while that kind of happens. And I'm, trying to walk in, the whole, there's going to come a time where I'm going to have to just, check some people and just, I'm going to say some stuff that some people aren't going to be happy with. And, oh, well, you know what I mean? It's going to have to be like that. Everybody's not going to be happy here. Although I do pride myself on saying that, we started this, that our chat, is, respectful, and we doing things with love and respect and all this stuff. But sometimes you got to do that tough love and just like, just check the people and do the thing. And, I do have that side of me that will, come out, especially when it hits me that, somebody is being disrespectful or trying to do backhanded compliments. Who's out there being a narcissist? Who out there narking and doing a little, gremlin work, right? So once I identify, a lot of times I'm late to it because I always look at things, I'm optimistic. So I always want to believe that, people have good intentions and all that stuff. However, yes, I'm awaken to the fact that there are some people out there that don't have good intentions, that their only intentions are to be mean, deceitful, and to cause problems. Yes. So what happened to nobody got wrenches? How come? I don't have no. Something must have happened. Anyway, I haven't been here in a little minute. Thank you, Tanika. I like all what everybody's doing. Denise V says, unless it was planned here. That's what I'm saying, too. I really do believe that it was planned here, right? It was planned here because everything seemed so staged and planned. It wasn't like it was, spontaneous type of something. Everything seemed planned right down to the alcohol poison, right? We can see that when we watch the videos of Nazir telling his story, right? They had said it was alcohol poison because one of their friends had it, right? Everything had a story, an excuse for it. Hey, what's going on? Anissa Faith Jones says, peaceful blessings. All right, it's good to see you here, and thanks for your comments. Melanie Blair says, hey, RN, just for Shanquella and her family. Yes. So more is needing to be done. We see that there. Thank you, Melanie. And Jamie says, I think they did their research over here before they went to Mexico. I agree. And that's why I'm saying that it's got to be something that we could do about that, because otherwise, how do we just stop people from doing that, right? If you can just go lure somebody over to another country and drop a body and then come back and get away with it, when it's so, give me a break. Like, you know what I mean? As a American citizen, who's protecting Shanquella's rights, right? Who is protecting her rights? So, and I actually asked another question too. So I got one more question that I want to share with y'all, so you can is that it there? Yeah, we can go back over here and see, um, because all this stuff still. And then I have another story too that I'm going to share. But let me just read this fourth question. It says, "How can this be fair when you kill an American in Mexico, return to America, and get away with it?" And the answer came back, "It is true that the judicial issues surrounding crimes committed abroad can sometimes result in complex and challenging legal situations. However, it is important to remember that the legal system of different countries are based on different laws, traditions, and procedures. In order to respect the sovereignty and autonomy of different nations, it is generally accepted that the laws and legal systems of one country cannot be applied extraterritorially unless there is a specific legal basis or agreement allowing for it. In the case of a crime committed in Mexico against an American citizen, the Mexican authorities would have primary jurisdiction over the crime as it occurred on Mexican soil. Yes, and that's why I believe that they did the research and they saw how many people had already did it and got away with it, and people had accepted the alcohol intoxication, alcohol poisoning as a cause of death, and had, nothing happened to them. They got away with it. However, if the perpetrators were to return to the United States, which they did, they could still face legal consequences under U.S. law depending on the circumstances of the case. For example, if the crime involved a violation of U.S. federal law, such as a conspiracy to commit murder, the perpetrators could be prosecuted by U.S. authorities even if the crime was committed in Mexico. Boom. Here we go. So this is our hope right here, y'all. This is our hope, right? Because I believe that it was that it was premeditated, over here and committed over there. It is also worth noting that the U.S. government works closely with other countries to promote international cooperation and respect of human rights, including the right to a fair trial and the rule of law. Though diplomatic efforts, legal assistance, and other means, the U.S. government seeks to ensure that justice is served in cases involving American citizens aboard while respecting the sovereignty of legal systems of other countries. Wow. So that's pretty much a mouthful, but at least I feel like back onto square one when I was saying how we need to focus on getting the justice here in this country, because I don't believe that we're going to get it in Mexico when they are making money off of people coming over there to unalive people, to drop bodies in their country and get away with it, right? Denise says, but if Mexico doesn't care about our safety, why would we spend our hard-earned money there? If there's a chance we don't come back home, exactly, then Mexico don't deserve our money, point blank, period. I agree with you, Denise. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes. And that's something that we could do. That's something that we could do that goes back to that high level diplomatic, pressure, right? We'll be putting a lot of pressure on them if we start hitting them in the pockets, right? Because Mexico is a very approachable country for people that's like first time traveling out of the country, a lot, especially here in the U.S. since it's, connected close here. A lot of people, they'll go travel to Mexico as like, it's an approachable first time, use your passport type of something. It's not like, going over, going someplace else, right? So a lot of people vacation in Mexico. Mexico does receive lots of our hard-earned money. And I agree. There's other places to visit. There's other places to go. And if Mexico already doesn't do anything about the femicides in their own country, like I've been saying from the beginning, y'all, they're not going to. They're not going to. They're not going to. I want to know why. Okay, never mind. I just don't see it on this side. I said, where my wrench is at? All right, so yes. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate all these comments and questions. That is good. I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. Hit them in the pockets, right? Tanika says they didn't just decide to beat her while they were in Mexico. They knew what they wanted to do before they left. Exactly. And two, we go back to how the scene was staged, right? They wanted to make sure that they got on video. Look, y'all, we drinking. All right, everybody hold the cups up. But look at the energy of all the people at the table. They did not put out the energy that they were having the fun time. And some of y'all was even able to recognize the tense energy that was felt when Shanquella was walking through the villa saying, where y'all hoes at? Don't take that long to get naked, right? When she walked into the room, everybody, not everybody, but most people were making comments that they felt that they felt the energy that the people in the room, Dejanay Winter, all them, was giving her negative energy, negative vibes. We felt it just being witnesses watching the video. That energy came through. The same energy was present at the dinner table when they was like, look, this is how we do it. Drink, drink. The only person that you heard going, woohoo, drink, was Shanquella. Everybody else had a gloomy look on their face like they were there to do business. But this scene needs to be put out there so everybody can understand when we say it was alcohol poisoning, y'all gonna see we was drinking at dinner. And then to really make the story stick, we playing this alcohol game, right? This wicked game, this alcohol game, right? They showed them playing the alcohol game. This was done, in my opinion, to give more validity to the story of the alcohol poison, right? Because we see here, they was drinking at the thing. They drink, and we played this alcohol game. And how many people had used the story of alcohol poison, alcohol intoxication as a cause of death and gotten away with it? Even we had Martin from Martin Resurrection on the show, who lived in Mexico for 4 years. He said that this was a problem out there. They had a problem with women being unalived, and they just blame it on alcohol. So, and they rarely prosecuted the people or held them accountable for doing this. So they don't value the women in their country. And so why would we think they're going to value a Black woman from another country, right? Helen Henry says, I saw proof that it's Cabo 7, not Cabo 6. And that NW lied. That NW lied. He was there. Nazir Wiggins. Thank you. That Nazir Wiggins lied. He was there when Shanquella was walking through the villa saying it doesn't take that long to get naked. And Joya was there too. All right, Helen. Let's see. All right, Helen said, I emailed you the proof. Okay. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I've been, MIA. I hadn't looked at any of these emails. Thank you, Helen, but I will take a peek at these emails. Appreciate you. Thank you. Helen says, so there was a total of 8. I was suspicious on Nazir because usually when people are telling lies, they always give extra details. They put the extra details on there so you could, and they set the stage. Like I said, the truth doesn't need explanation. An explanation When you start explaining, that's when you should be suspicious that you're being told a lie. Scott Smith says, hello, what's up, Scott? How you been? And welcome back. Justice for Shanquella. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we need. We're looking here for justice for Shanquella. All right. And Melanie says, I was watching somebody else's channel. They pointed out that the Cabo 6 did not do a lot of posting of the trip. And that's odd for people that age, especially if they were celebrating birthdays. That is a great point. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just wait and facts and truth will start to surface. It's doing good. Thank you, Scott. All right. So y'all saw there was one more article that I'm going to read to y'all. Then I'll be letting y'all go and stuff like that. Let's see. Helen says, when Nazir Wiggins and Joya see this proof, they're going to be scared. Okay. I'm interested here. All right. So let me get on back over here. Find this his story. Wow. Interesting. Oh, it was on here. My bad. Let me get back over here. Yeah, okay. So, of course, let's see. Justice is coming. Let me put that up there. All right. So, Scott says justice is coming. I think it's going to be a long time coming. As we were saying earlier, it took 7 years for them to get Sweetie Pie's son in there for unaliving his nephew, right? But once the FBI got on the case, I think they said it took like 7 months. But yeah, these things take time. It's just hard in the beginning while you waiting and stuff like that, especially with this case, because we see all these facts. We see all these facts in the video evidence. Okay, here we go. Let's see. This was the second one that I had picked up. This was here's by Atlanta's Black Star. So we read the first one from Fox News. Everybody should agree that Fox News is a reputable American source of news, right? All right, so then this one here is, okay, from today too. All right, I was trying to find recent articles and stuff too. So the reason why was to dispute or to confirm the fact or the not facts that arrest had been made, right? When they had gave us that one little false claim here. It says, Shanquella Robinson update. Why is the U.S. government stalling the extradition of a suspect in the case? So when just reading this, it said, why are they stalling the extradition, right? So the extradition to me is the actual process of, the delivery part, right? So again, this doesn't say that the person isn't already detained, right? So that's why I keep going back and forth between if the person is detained or not, because if the U.S. is stalling extraditing them, does that mean that they still have them in custody, right? But they're not, extraditing them, but they're just, keeping them. They're still here detained. Because again, like I said, back in November, we were all reporting that they were detained, that they were detained. However, we still see that where the story came from. I don't know. Like I said, y'all, I'm taking it moment by moment, story by story. But here again, this here is Atlanta's Black Star. I've never heard of them. However, that's why we read the first one from Fox News. So this one says, Shanquella Robinson update. Why is the U.S. government stalling the extradition of the suspect in the case? All right. So, and this here is dated March 2nd, 2023. So that is today. It said, it has been 4 months since Shanquella Robinson, a North Carolina business owner, died on a weekend trip with friends in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Mexican authorities have issued an arrest warrant for one of the people on the trip for femicide. the death of a woman based on her gender. However, an attorney representing her family, Sue Ann Robinson, told Atlanta Black Star the U.S. government has stonewalled them. Wow. Robinson said the family has been met with a lack of transparency from American authorities in a case already complicated by geopolitics. Wow. Geopolitics. All right. Shanquella Robinson, it says, a video footage leaked from the Mexican villa Shanquella shared with 6 friends in late October showed she was a victim of a brutal assault. Shortly after her death, the group returned to the U.S., leaving her body behind. The U.S. and Mexico signed an extradition treaty in 1978 that calls for the return of people who committed crimes and flee to either country. Mexico must wait on the U.S. to approve extradition. Mexico is a little more complicated, but there's so that's a typo there. But there's precedence for for it's not unheard of. The attorney told Atlanta Black Star during a phone interview on Tuesday. Robinson's family, their attorney, and civil rights activists will travel to Washington, D.C. to call on President Joe Biden and federal officials for diplomatic intervention into her murder case on Friday. So again, like I was saying, if anybody is in the Washington, D.C. area on this coming Friday to show support for this case, what our goal is now is to put heavy diplomatic pressure on the government to do something about this, since everyone is kind of just sitting back saying, it's not on us, it's on them. Well, it's not on us, it's on them. Not everyone, but Mexico is pointing the finger at America, and America is pointing the finger at Mexico. All right. Since the Robinsons family, okay, I already read that. All right. There has to be a high level of diplomatic and intervention, and it has to really be the highest level possible, the attorney said. I use Brittany Griner, yes, as a recent example because that's really an easy example of something where people see what high-level diplomatic intervention is needed when you have 2 different governments, 2 different criminal justice. And Brittany's case was not a murder case, right? This was somebody had some weed paraphernalia or some, marijuana, some vape, some vape residual, right? So if they did all that to get back Brittany, come on, y'all. Come on. Robinson says Shanquella has not been able to get any information from U.S. authorities. In late November, the FBI Charlotte office confirmed that they would open an investigation into the case. Still, the family has not been able to get a timeline, even though Mexican authorities say they have completed the investigation and submitted an extradition request. So what investigation could Mexico has possibly completed when they had already said they completed their investigation and said it wasn't a homicide, right? They said no foul play, right? That it was alcohol intoxication. However, the family has been stuck in between a ping pong, according to prominent attorney who took a recent trip to Cabo to retrace Shanquella's steps. U.S. authorities are saying you need to go to Mexico. Mexican authorities, prior to us actually physically being on the ground in Mexico, were advising that the family need to go to the U.S. authorities. Wow, Robinson said. Robinson visited the villa, canvassed the neighborhood, spoke to paramedics, and went to the funeral home where her body was sent after her death. It was exported from there to the U.S. on November 10th. Wow. While Mexican authorities have confirmed that the case is a priority, according to the attorney, she has received little to no information from the U.S. consulate in Mexico or the U.S. Department of State. While noting that the extradition process complicates the case, while noting that the extradition process complicates the case, Robinson believes that Shanquella's race plays a role in the lack of diplomatic intervention in the case. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so not only I believe her race, but also her gender. We just don't get that in our case, unless we're marching, we're rallying, said Robinson, adding that social media has also played a pivotal role in creating momentum. A lot of people attribute that to missing white women syndrome. Wow, the media is just more enamored when the victim of crime is a white female as opposed to a black female. Cell phone videos of Shanquella being slammed, punched, and kicked in Cabo Villa surfaced after her body and death records were shipped to her parents in Charlotte, North Carolina. The video shows a 25-year-old woman in the nude while a few friends are on the sideline recording and commenting while she is overpowered by a female aggressor, later identified by the victim's mother as Dejanay Jackson, Shanquella's friend. Shanquella, the owner of a hair braiding business and online fashion boutique, often traveled with her friends, according to her social media page. She appeared fun-loving and vibrant in the vacation post and was popular on Instagram. Wow, that goes back to someone said that those Cabo folks weren't posting on their social media during the vacation. However, we see here that Shanquella was, because she wasn't aware of what was getting ready to go down. Let me say. She reportedly traveled to Cabo on October 29th to celebrate Jackson's birthday. The travel mates met at Shanquella's alma mater, Winston-Salem State University, her mother said. The timeline of the events, the timeline of the events that led to the woman's death is still murky months later. However, the travel companions returned to Charlotte with Shanquella's luggage after telling her parents she died from alcohol poisoning. Her death certificate later revealed that she died from a broken neck and cracked spinal cord, which we saw on the video. The woman's parents went to the media to raise the alarm. Social media users latched onto the story after the video went viral, further contradicting Shanquella's friends, according to that she died after binging on alcohol. Although the resulting justice for Shanquella spurred more media attention and an investigation into her death, the attorney said some of the viral response have been harmful to the family and the case. Wow. It makes it difficult for the family to grieve, fight for justice, and also constantly be battling misinformation, Robinson said, but still adamant that there is a benefit to social media involvement. Okay. So they want them social media involved. I'm not sure what I'm pretty sure the harmful part was when people were, disrespecting the family and saying negative things about them. She hopes more public pressure in the nation's capital would at least garner the family an update on the investigation. Women's rights activist Tamika Mallory and the local NAACP president and civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump. Oh, okay, that's what the person was saying, Benjamin Crump on the case. Thank you, whoever I said. So, okay. Will also accompany the family as they demand answers. Good. All right, that's great. They're asking for anyone to spill the beans and destroy the investigation, or asking to do a ride along when the people are picking up and taking, Robinson said. They're simply saying it's the protocol that is delineated for extradition. It is being followed. We are, where are you guys in that process? Okay, so they're not giving any answers to the family here. See here, some more updates. I'm not sure when these are. I'm just going to click on a few of them here and see what they say. All right, so this is an older one. This is from January the 18th. And again, this is from the Atlanta Black Star. So there are some, stories happening here. January the 18th. I'm not going to read all of these here. Come back to some more comments or questions so we can put some more heads together here, y'all. Let's see what our next move is. High-level diplomatic pressure. So again, anybody that's going to be out in the Washington, D.C. area, and like she said, we can put pressure on the embassy, U.S. Embassy in Mexico. Jamie says, I agree, Melanie. I would have been taking mad pics and videos. How did I miss that? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I missed up on that. I did read that one out there. I feel you on that. I just didn't understand where it came up that. Thank you so much. All right, everybody was doing good up in here. See, I had read that one too. Thank you so much for the confidence that justice is coming. Like I said, y'all, we just need to be patient up in here. Scott says, see what happens when Robinson family lawyer goes to Washington tomorrow. Yes, I'm curious about that too. And so I'll come back on Saturday as I'm working tomorrow night. And I'm doing a lot, y'all. I got my Turo cars up and running. So I've been doing a lot. Been extremely busy, but after I saw the story that was dated for today and pretty much indicating that nothing's being done, I just felt I couldn't not come back and say some more stuff, keep going with this, especially now that at least we have a focus. They're seeing exactly what's needed. Pressure, high level diplomatic pressure, right? We creating a boycott that we're not going to Mexico. Like I said, no more Mexico, right? We can find other places to use our money, and especially since a lot of people, like I said, especially coming from America, Mexico would be an easy, approachable, first time out of the country type of a place to visit, because there, spaces there where they speak English. It's like I said, it's an approachable country. It's not like going to Russia or some place in the Eastern Europe or something like that, right? This is Mexico. Kind of makes you feel like you in another country, but not really, right? Because you can just walk back over to America. So good point there. See, that's a good point there. Yeah. So we'll be patient and we'll come back together and see what we can put our heads together back on Saturday night on this here. What happens over in Washington? All right. Thank you. Helen says the family and their lawyer are going to Washington on Friday. Yep. Highly favored. So the FBI is investigating and arresting both Haitian and Americans and Colombians involved in the murder of Jovenel Moise, president of Haiti. He was murdered in his home in Haiti, July 21st. Wow. So it seems that the FBI is long suffering, right? They things aren't speedy there. Wow. Let me read that again. It says the FBI is investigating, so they're investigating and arresting both Haitians and Americans, okay, and Colombians that were involved, right? Yeah, I see what you're saying on this. That they 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 will and they can. Like the information I had read off to y'all from my little investigation said they may, right? They may, that they can do some things here. Thank you, highly favored. Appreciate that update there. Judy says the life takers had planned this and probably studied how to get away with making someone unalive. Yes, I agree, because even the moves, right? The moves that Dejanay performed, they were executed precisely to do just that. I mean, it was, within seconds, right? She did a technique when, y'all take a look at let me see, I'm gonna share the video from the all around natural beauty. Let me go ahead and share it so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Over here on my channel, there's a video. Where's that video? Is that it? No. Here it is. This here video. Let me I'm gonna drop the link in the somewhere, and I'm gonna drop the link so y'all can watch. This here is John Q explains the injuries. Right, this was a really good video. A lot of good information was put on that. I do a whole bunch, right? I'm sure it could have been done a little bit easier. I'm gonna drop it in this chat, and then also on the comments on this here video, or maybe I. All right, so let me see. I go over here. This is that. Here's that over there, and then I'm putting it over here. Come on, putting it over here in. I was gonna try to put it in the comments, but I'm not sure. It's not. It's not letting me do it just yet. So let me get rid of some of these here. Let me click off of this here. All right, some of these boxes. This thing's been acting weird on me lately, so I don't really know what's going on. Why? I don't want to take that away. All right. So anyway, it's in this here, and then of course, when all this is said and done, I'm going to leave the link there too. But what I want y'all to see on that is that the attack moves were executed like a person did techniques, right? This wasn't just like a struggle or a fight that went bad. These were planned moves. If you take a person and wring their neck, you already know exactly what's going to happen with that. This isn't a oops, this was strategic. From every blow was strategic and aimed to do damage, to do exactly what happened, to unalive a person. So yes, and that's my whole prayer and hope, that because they planned it here. How come this is still frozen up there? Okay. I have no clue what's going on with that. All right. So if they all right, let me get off of that. If they planned it here, that we can get them for that, because it shouldn't be this loophole where you can take somebody, lure somebody to another country, drop the body, and then just get away with it. But that's exactly the loophole that what they're doing to get away with. Highly favored says Nazir was there at the dinner. There is no proof of him traveling the day after, like he said. Oh, well, didn't we see somebody show his ticket somebody had showed, I think it was Hell of a Chick, right? Showed his airport ticket that had the time on it. But I feel you on this too, because I didn't believe the story how he was explaining it. I wasn't there. It was almost like, it was a planned alibi. Like, I'm just gonna say I wasn't there. Here's the proof, here's the ticket, and all that stuff. A way to distance yourself from it. Look at there, Brittany gone. All right, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Helen says, highly favored, Nazir Wiggins and Joyer were there. She was the 8th person. All right. What's up, Betty? Betty says, hello, beautiful RN, everyone. How are y'all all doing today? Yes, we are here today and still feeling a little, like what's going on. The plan is now the family has an attorney and they are asking and seeking high-level diplomatic pressure from the U.S. Embassy in Mexico, from the Biden administration, and things like that to step in to help ensure that we get justice for this case. Also, they did point out that, they're concerned that one of the reasons why we're not seeing any results is because the Shanquella is a Black woman. And we already know that Mexico doesn't have any value for their women, that they probably have, not probably, but I'm sure they have less value for a Black woman. And see, justice for Shanquella Robinson. Yes, Betty is also saying that. There is a march in Washington, D.C. on Friday for Shanquella Robinson. Yes. Thank you so much for us reminding. We want homicide instead of femicide. Yeah, I heard that could possibly be the reason why this whole hold up is being put out there, right? And then there's a lot of deep stuff that we, is coming out about this whole the femicide thing, as far as like these T people with the different rights and all that stuff too. So Helen says she's part of the lawyer's company. All right, and then here is the link to that video with John Q, so you can get see the injuries and why we are saying how the time of death after receiving the injuries that we saw visible here, and we're able to put that time on there. So that is it. Here it says make like a banana and split. So my make like a tree and leave wasn't corny enough for you, Helen. You have to come up with your banana split. I like that. I may have to borrow that one. Make like a banana and split. I like that one too. That's cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of y'all for, sticking with me and, us on this little journey together, and also allowing for the mental break to, take a time to stop. And also sometimes you have to step back and look at things, right? So we already know that we need to prepare ourselves. It's going to be a long journey. It's going to be a long time, because these kind of things take time, and how we just have to be patient. So I know folks was having issues with some of these people telling up these lies, stuff like that. And the very people that had the issues were the people that anyway, it's gonna be too long. I won't go into it. So we're gonna save all the rest of this stuff for Saturday when we come back together to do an update and see, what happened on the march, what's happening for tomorrow. And y'all, thank y'all so much, and continue to send the emails. And I want to thank everybody who have been showing support and continuing to watch the videos and share the videos and all that stuff. Like and subscribe, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all Saturday, right? And love y'all. Thank y'all so much for all your hopes. Justice for Shanquella Robinson, and peace and love. See y'all Saturday.